Hello, I'm Mr. Wyman.
I'm Mr. McMillan.
I'm Mr. Hayes.
And I'm Mr. Lay.
In this video, we'll be teaching you about the periodic table of elements. You'll learn about its dramatic origin story, its brilliant design, and its amazing ability to predict the future.
To get started, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. Imagine your name is Dmitri Mendeleev. You are 13 years old and living with your 14 older brothers and sisters in Siberia, Russia.
Your father is a headmaster of a school, but then he goes blind and loses his job. So your mother takes over an old glass factory to keep the family going. A year later, the glass factory burns down.
Your mother believes in you. Your siblings are on their own now, so she gathers you up and your belongings, and you ride together on horseback through the Ural Mountains. You ride 1,200 miles to a university in Moscow. She pleads your case to the faculty, and they reject you.
You and your mother hop on your horse again and ride another 500 miles to St. Petersburg. They accept you into the university, and your mother soon dies from the effort.
Take a moment and imagine if you would feel responsible to make her sacrifice worthwhile.
Whether he did or did not feel the weight of his mother's sacrifice, Dmitri Mendeleev did make a name for himself in chemistry. In fact, he designed the most useful, brilliant tool in all of chemistry, the periodic table of elements.
At the age of 35 in 1869, Mendeleev was obsessed with the elements and their properties. At the time, science was aware of 60 elements. Mendeleev carefully cataloged them according to their atomic number, their reactivity, electrical conductivity, and whether they were metals, nonmetals, or gases.
Before Mendeleev, scientists had already discovered a phenomenon of the elements called periodicity. That is, certain properties of elements seem to repeat periodically.
Mendeleev's innovation was to organize the elements into rows called periods and columns called groups. The rows, or periods, organize elements according to the number of protons in the nucleus, also called the atomic number. The columns, or groups, organize elements according to their physical properties. You can see that copper, silver, and gold are all in the same column, and they all have similar properties.
Earlier scientists' efforts had become frustrated with the seemingly intermittent periodicity of properties among the 60 known elements. The periods didn't seem to be even. Mendeleev's obsession with elemental properties paid off. He had such a deep knowledge of the elements that he could imagine or infer from his table whereas yet undiscovered elements were.
Mendeleev was so confident in his table that he accurately predicted the discovery of elements. The mystery elements appear as placeholders in his table. He even accurately predicted the properties in detail of elements before they were isolated by other scientists.
Mendeleev predicted that scientists would find certain elements that were as yet undiscovered because of what is called the periodicity of elements. When arranged according to their atomic number in groups of 7, Mendeleev was able to use the table to predict the existence and properties of as yet undiscovered elements.
It wasn't until 1955 when scientists isolated the element corresponding to atomic number 101. That was long after Mendeleev predicted its existence, and decades after he died in 1907. The element is named after Mendeleev in honor of his great contributions to science.
Scientists have identified 118 distinct elements that make up the world, and they are all captured neatly in Mendeleev's brilliant and useful periodic table.
If you were paying close attention to our video, you should have picked up on the following. The periodic table organizes the elements into periods, or rows, and groups, or columns. Elements in the same column have similar properties.
The phenomenon of regularly repeating properties of elements is called periodicity. Elements in the same row progress from left to right according to their atomic number. Elements in the same row have different properties. The atomic number is the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. That's it for today, and remember,
Be curious about the world around you.
Be honest about what you know and what you don't.
Be brave in the pursuit of knowledge.
and learn something new every day.